Okay, so now we're going to talk about relaxer retouch. Okay, so relaxer retouch, we talked about the sodium hydroxide and we talked about the ammonia, right? So the difference between the three is this is your sensitive scalp. Remember when I said that you have the active agent that you will use to pour into it? So this is the active agent, and you will pour it inside of here, and then you will mix it together, okay? And then that controls your strength level according to what your client needs. This is the bucket of relaxer that is already made and mixed up to where it will be a regular or a super, and these are going to be your box relaxers that you can get off of the shelf at the beauty supply, right? These two, you can get this at the, you can get any of these at the beauty supply, but you want to get the professional use. Now, the regular beauty supply is geared to the public, right? It's open to the public. Anybody can go in there and get it. You don't need a license for it. You don't need any type of training for it. You just go shop and get what you need, right? When you all started in phase one, you were given a permit. Do you know what that permit allowed you to do?
Yeah.
What does it do?
You're allowed to shop at the high-end beauty supplies.
So not so much high end, but the professionals,
Yeah.
right? So it's not open to the public, right? So anybody with a license can go in there and shop. If you don't have a license, you can't. Now, do you know the difference between the professional level supplies, products, versus my regular beauty supplies? And we're talking about chemicals. No? So if I can go in the beauty supply and purchase a chemical, but I can't go to a professional beauty supply and purchase a chemical, there's a reason why. And the reason is because it doesn't have the same amount of ingredients as a professional does that it does to the public. Because if the public can do what the professional do, what do I need a license for, right? So they've taken something out over here on the public end versus on the professional end in the chemical part rise, right? So you don't have access to what I do, because why should I charge you? Well, I can charge you if I can go and get it for $1.99 versus $5.99. Make sense? So you want to start purchasing those type of products, because that is going to allow you to charge the price that you need to charge, because you don't have access to what I have access to, right? So use your permits, all right? So back to the chemicals, all right? So you have the active ingredients used, you have it already made for you, then you have the box ones. The box ones, like I say, that's open to the public, not pretty good for your hair. Don't recommend it, but you do what you have to do at the time that you need to do it for, okay? Now, relaxer retouch, we're doing it to where? What part of the hair? To the roots. And however much new growth she has, right? So let's say what all this color part is previous relaxed hair, because she's no longer a virgin. We just did a virgin relaxer on her 8 weeks ago. So now it's time for her retouch. We're gonna hit just at the root. We're not gonna go to the scalp. We're gonna go about a half an inch away from the scalp, because again, if we go straight to the scalp, it's gonna do what? Irritate the scalp. So we're gonna go as closest to the scalp as we possibly can without hitting the scalp, and we're gonna hit the new growth area only that needs a retouch, and try not to overlap to the previous relaxed hair, because now we're gonna over process it and it's going to cause it to be brittle and start to break. Okay? So just like with previous colored hair, we don't want to overlap those colors, right? Because now we're going to bleed into it, and then it's gonna make it not as strong, okay? Someone with fine or thin hair, and they want a relaxer, and we have medium, well, we have regular, we have extra strength or super, and we have mild or sensitive scalp, but we have somebody with thin, fine hair. Which one of those are we gonna use?
Mild.
Mild?
It's,
What you say? Mild?
I'm not sure.
Not sure?
What was the question?
She has thin or fine hair. She wants a relaxer. Which one are we using? Super, regular, sensitive scalp?
sensitive stuff.
Sensitive scalp, and we got some milds. I mean, we got some regulars, right? Which is mild.
Yeah, I think
Sensitive.
Either or. Alright, so either or. You can use sensitive scalp or you can use mild, depending on what she's able to handle, right? So we do a test strand
Do they both give like the same results or it's just,
as far as what
as in like, I guess like strength?
this. Oh, well, as far as sensitive scalp and mild. So it's the processing time.
Oh, it's just.
So it's the processing time. So it will get your hair straight, but with sensitive scalp it may take a little longer because the active agent is not as strong in it.
Oh.
You're not using as much in it. So it's just gonna take, so that's just like you using a 10 volume versus a 30 volume developer. Same thing as a super or a mild processing time, okay? So we're gonna do the new growth, 1/2 inch away from the scalp and then new growth only. We're gonna do the entire head before we come back and then we're gonna smooth. We'll start in the back area and work our way around again. We're gonna do the same application as far as basing her hairline, but we don't have to base her scalp. Why don't we have to base the scalp in a virgin, but we don't have to do it in a retouch?
You're doing the whole thing, it's like touching the skin or something?
I was gonna say that because they already had the chemical on the hair, it's not a virgin anymore
Right.
due to the chemicals.
So her hair, she's already gotten prone to the chemical. Her scalp is already actively eating the chemical, as you would say. So now it's time for a retouch. Her scalp knows what it's getting, right? Her hairline is still sensitive around here. Your scalp is a little bit more tougher than around here, right? So we always gotta protect this. We still can protect this. I'm not saying it's not allowed, but it's not, you don't have to base the whole scalp as if you would do a virgin. Because with a virgin, her hair, you're opening up that cortex, and it's like, whoa, what is this, right? So even though I rinsed it out and I neutralized it means that I what? Do anybody know? It stopped the process. Is that chemical still there? Is that chemical still in there? Because it's gonna have still like a little stench to it. When y'all did the perms, right? Y'all can still smell it in there. Even though you rinsed it, it's still there. Okay? So now her scalp has had time to absorb it, understand it, embrace it. So when she come back for a retouch, it's like, oh, I know who you are. Make sense? Okay. So we're gonna do the same exact thing. The only thing is just our applications where we put it at on the hair. We're still gonna neutralize it. We're still gonna shampoo it 3 to 4 times, or however many times it takes to get all the product out. We're still gonna condition it, and we're gonna style as usual.